And I saw this really stunning act of journalism from a reporter doing stunner actual reporting. You don't see a lot of that these days, but I saw it this morning. So here's a blue check marker, Nicole Saganga, and it's a thread she put up on social media, apparently doing some reporting on how bad the illegal immigration crisis, there I said it, Jen Psaki's going to circle back on me, the crisis at the border. She has a picture up of a holding pod. Joe, they're not cages, they're pods now. No. Pods. Make sure you call them the right thing. Okay. Plastic lined pods. I'm not sure that's such a great idea in the middle of a pandemic, the whole airflow thing. But whatever, the Biden administration doesn't seem to care too much about that. She says, quote, the Biden administration allowed pool coverage for the first time. We saw a, quote, pod, which was designed for 32 migrant children under CDC guidelines. 32. So just to be clear, this pod was supposed to hold 32 children. How many is it now holding, according to Miss Nicole here? 615. That sounds to me like I'm not really that good at math, but sounds something like a 10, 20 times. I'm just chef. I'm wrong. I mean, the facility in general, she says, is at 1,700% pandemic capacity. Keep your kids out of school, though. Don't send your kids to school because that is definitely a danger. But allowing people to enter the country illegally, putting them in pens, and at 1,700% capacity, many of them infected with the coronavirus, that's A-okay. But definitely don't send your kids to school with Joey and Bobby and Maria, because that's when it's an existential threat to the United States. Again, if you're a liberal, ignoring reality and expecting your dopey, silly, stupid liberal followers to buy all this. So we're putting people in plastic pens coming from a foreign country, many infected with coronavirus, at mass capacity, belly button to caboose, and that's no problem. No crisis. Psaki circled back. No crisis there. But yes, your kid in school is definitely a crisis. You don't believe me about the coronavirus? Keep in mind, I don't know this woman's politics. I don't care to. But she's working, I think, at CBS. It's not some, again, bastion of right-wing values. Here's Nicole Saganga again. She says, quote, the outdoor recreation area in this facility to hold the illegal immigrants is being used to stage COVID testing before unaccompanied migrant children are transferred to HHS facilities. More on the HHS facilities in the next tweet. She says, we counted more than 50 COVID positive, but largely asymptomatic kids waiting for their quarantine bus right next to a soccer game. So it's okay for 15 COVID positive confirmed kids to do their thing right next to a soccer game, but your kids can not only not play soccer, they can definitely not go to school. Because again, it's all about priorities, right? Priorities. All about ignoring objective reality is what it's about. How do you wake up in the morning as a liberal? I'm serious. How do you wake up, look yourself in the face and be like, gosh, I'm really stupid? How do you do that? Why are you so dumb? Oh, damn, that's offensive. It's true. Why are you so stupid? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why am I so dumb? Why am I lobbying for my own kids to be kept out of school while putting people in the country illegally who broke the law into plastic containers who were COVID infected in our country? Why? Because I'm stupid. Is there any other explanation? I'd love to hear it. I'm not suggesting Republicans don't do dumb things too. Believe me, the swamp is infected with stupid Republicans. But how do you look yourself in the mirror and say, this makes sense to me? By the way, on those HHS facilities where they're sending these COVID infected kids to in the country illegally, here's Nicole Saganga again. More than 2,000 migrants at the temporary processing facility in Donna, Texas, have been here over the legal limit of 72 hours. Believe me, if that was the Trump administration, everybody would be sued right now. But because it's Biden and liberals are dunces, they're like, that's A-okay. It goes on. Senior CBP officials told reporters that more than 1,200 migrants are processed and waiting to be transferred to HHS facilities. HHS has nowhere to put them. No worries, folks. Jen Psaki circled back. Definitely not a crisis. I know I'm a little harsh on the libs today, folks, but this is one of those sorry, not sorry moments because you really need a rude awakening. You know, when I was younger, I had some issues, you know, I did. I'm a tough kid, whatever. I forget all that nonsense. But my upbringing was not always the greatest. And I was working at a store, let's just say, and I was complaining to this kid how incredibly depressed I was and how I wanted to just give up. True story. Like, I'm done. I can't take this life. Life sucks. It was the black cloud. I don't know how old I was, 18, 17. True story. And I'll never forget the kid looking at me. His name was Anthony. And saying, listen, I don't really care about your problems. I need someone to cover a shift on Monday. And if you're not going to be there because you're all depressed and weaky and whiny and whatever, just let me know now. And I was like, well, I was expecting him to like give me a little the snowflake response. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. He really didn't care if it was okay. This is one of those moments for liberal tough love. And that's why I'm being really harsh today. I'm asking you a serious question. Are you always this stupid?